Technically, today we are in the last day of our warm outreach section. And we promised everybody we would wrap that part up with how to host a broker open house. So we're going to do agent only open house today. I know this one is probably a little bit like we're not going to need two sessions like we did with the agent open house, but I
For
still
sure.
think this
But
is
the
critical.
fundamentals are still there. The
Yeah,
reason we went into two passionate sessions about an open house
there you go.
is because of what the open house is meant to do. It's
Sure.
meant to create that momentum and energy. And the agent open house is the exact same from the intention and purpose. It's just a matter of how we go about the business.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll let everybody know a couple of quick things. So by the end of the session today, we're going to do the 5 foundational steps for running a basic agent open house. We're going to give you basically the checklist that Simeon and his gang uses and a script to help you understand how to invite local agents. So you guys could actually get up and running one of these in the next week or two, no problem at all. And how to understand how this builds sort of agent-agent relationships. And, it's not just about cookies and whatever. So, as you know, as a top producer, it's not just about getting buyers or agents through the door. It's always about getting the right agents through the door because they represent the
100%.
buyers you want. So, and
100%.
today, so you guys know, the resource you're going to get is the agent open house checklist that drives results. That'll be made available to you guys as usual inside the community. And we'll make sure that you're reminded of this in the follow-up email that you always get in the morning along with the replay link. So
Uh,
what do you think? What do you want to start with today?
Yeah, so I'm gonna get right into it and kind of expand. You already said a couple of things that are very, very important. And that was, you don't want any agent, you want the right agent. First and foremost, let's talk about what agent to agent relationship is. I can tell you without a doubt, that not just referral basis, etc. I can tell you without a doubt whatsoever that I have done probably 300 to 500 deals specifically in my career with people that I know. Meaning, I know I'm getting a listing, let's call it in East York, the neighborhood of East York. It just so happens that I know a lot of top producing agents in East York because I lived in East York. In the moment that I have a listing coming, the first thing I'm going to do is look in my own database. Do I have a buyer for this listing? If I don't have a buyer for this listing, I'm going to make 10 to 12 strategic calls to the people who work East York to death. That because they have listings in East York as well, and they have open houses as well, they may have a list of buyers. So as we go through this lesson, because we're going to give specific advice on how we target, who we invite. And we're going to speak to, this is how money is made quickly. This is how your reputation is built by delivering the seller a buyer within a day, within 2 days. And this is how you prove to the market and showcase to the market of the professional that you are. This is what I do. This is how I did it. That's the content you want to create. Putting up a for sale on your socials does nothing, but telling the market how you sold does everything. So agent to agent open house it's bigger than people think, and they are actually making their way back post-COVID. I'm finally starting to see quite a few of them now, and I want to we'll get right into it. But this is why this is a standalone lesson.
Oh, you can ignore that one for now. I'll take care of you, Jake. Don't worry.
No, no problem. No problem. So yeah, so just getting right into it. What this is all about, it's about timing. So when is the best time to do an open house for your professional community? It's definitely not on the weekend. That's when we're all working with our clients, trying to make our conversions and trying to get our deals done. Tuesday, Wednesday are typically when they're done. Some will go into a Thursday depending on the market, but Tuesday and Wednesday is the absolute most typical
Mhm.
or customary to do an agent open because it gives everybody Monday to get the week started, and then
Mhm.
Tuesday you're going to do some previews of homes in anticipation of the rest of the week and how that can work for your clients. Um, Best time for an open house is for sure between 11 and 2 p.m. Light refreshments is what you may want to do. You can do a full-blown lunch depending on
Mhm.
the asset class that you're selling, depending on kind of your market and the expectations. But I have traditionally always served sushi when I did residential agent open houses because it's light, it's fresh, it looks good, and it creates the right atmosphere to what I was going for. But don't overthink for sure that process. Coffee, bagels, donuts, pastries, it could be anything. Don't overthink what you're going to serve. What you need to put all your energy into is who you're targeting to invite.
Mhm.
As we said and mentioned a few moments ago, there's nothing more important than allowing the people who work your specific neighborhood, just like we door knock, 20 houses in each direction before an open house, door knocking the brokerages in the area to see who's
Mhm.
active, pull up the last 20 homes that sold within 3 blocks. Who sold them? Likely you're going to run into some common denominators.
Yeah.
Who are that area's top performers? Those are the people that you want to hit because those
Mhm.
are the people that have the buyers because of their listing activity in the area. So you're always reverse engineering how that can potentially work.
I love that idea, Simeon. I wonder how common it is for people to do that, for agents to door knock other agents that way. It's such a good idea.
And I can tell you that not a lot of people do it. I can
Hmm.
tell you that a lot of legacy people do it because
Hmm.
they grew up in a world where you don't just slap something on the internet and expect to be sold. And
Right.
now that we're in a tough market once again, you're going to see the return of professionalism because the order taking days are over.
Right.
Like there is no room for that. And this is why I can appreciate agents making the time to be here right now because this is how we elevate each other. Me saying this to you, if you do that, chances are we're going to run into each other somewhere. And that goes for all of us across North America. So you looking at your zip code, you looking at your postal code, and reverse engineering who the action makers, the action takers and action makers are in any given neighborhood, those are the people you want to target.
Yeah.
My name is Simeon. I'm taking a listing on Ashbridges Bay.
Hmm.
Do you have buyers for me? Because I would love to do a deal with you. I've heard a lot about you. This is how you invite people to the open. I'm going to be there on Wednesday. If you want to swing by for a quick preview, I would love for you to put this in front of your clients. That is
Yeah.
that simple. So, speaking to exactly that, you want to give everybody enough notice and enough time. So, when you're planning it, make sure that if you have an agent list or if it's going out to your brokerage or if it's going out to your socials, make sure that you give it, I would say it doesn't need to be a week, but at least 5 days.
Hmm.
Like when people are working on the weekend, they should know that you have an agent open coming. Why? Because the work they do on the weekend can potentially change based on them knowing that you have something coming.
Sure.
Because they
And I'm
might tell the
assuming,
client there's something coming or whatever the case may be.
yeah. And Simeon, is it still best practice to do the agent open house before the public open house, I assume?
For sure.
Yeah.
You're giving the common courtesy to the market to bring you a deal.
Hmm.
Doing it the other way showcases that you tried to do a deal before, not and then you go to your agents after.
Right.
Collaboration over competition wins every time. Um,
Hmm.
the more you collaborate, the more you give, the more you're going to receive. And this couldn't be more true because people remember that you helped them make 20 grand that weekend. People will remember that they made $5,000 because of you.
Right.
So it's a very smart thing to do to be inclusive.
Hmm.
It's a very smart thing to let everybody know well in advance. And again, I would say Friday is when I would make my post for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday for the Tuesday. It gives people that window. You can make some calls and get it going. Now,
I think,
presentation. Sorry,
Simeon,
yeah,
sorry, just to interrupt for 1 second. We talked earlier about why this all falls into warm outreach, and I think this is actually the main reason. When you think about this warm list of other agents that you should be developing as one of your networking groups and your partner groups that we talked about, obviously this is crucial for not just selling your properties, as obviously we're talking about today, but everybody can also, of course, see this in reverse. This is your invite to a listing that's going to be coming up for a buyer of your own with another partner much sooner than perhaps somebody else might see it. So it's a leg up
yeah,
either way.
yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
And what you don't want to do is actually miss anyone and anything that can help you in your cause. What you want
Mhm.
to do is, again, organized fashion, get everybody moving, get everybody on the same page to support you, and you need to support them. If you don't go to agent open houses, if you're not vested in the business that way, you can't expect others to support you that way. So being involved, and again, I'm not saying go to any random open house to support someone. We don't have the time for that. But if you are farming a neighborhood, you should be actively going to the agent opens in that neighborhood because those are your competitors and you want to collaborate with your competitors. That is how the business grows by everyone. You know
Yeah.
it, how your competitors operate gives you business insight because they're succeeding because they have a listing. So why did the seller choose them? We'll take a look. Why did the seller choose you? Showcase it. So presentation of the home, show stopping ready.
Mhm.
It needs finesse.
Yeah.
If it's a dumpy old home, showcase how easy it is to make money by flipping it. Showcase why this old dumpy home is the perfect buy for any of their clients. But if it's an end user home, you want it to be in its top shape possible because it shows you care and it shows to your other colleagues of what you're capable of doing. When you're respected by your own peers, you can bet you're being respected by your consumers and your clients. So, having the neighborhood comps, having commission breakdown, having offer date instructions, if any, making a very, very clear case for the home through a nice brochure, something that they can bring with them or be emailed to where they can easily share it. You want to make, if you're going to be asking them to share it with their clients, make sure you remove your branding. Make it easy for them to share. Imagine you have 20 people sending out your listing as if it's theirs.
Mhm.
You've now made it easy for them to do something that they could potentially make money on.
Right.
But if I put my face all over half the brochure, nobody's going to send it anywhere. So make stuff, think ways through that you can actually create bigger results by helping someone do the same thing. Because you never know who is in their database and what they need. As far as feedback forms, as far as making it easy to understand, always try to get some feedback for your seller. The sellers who watch their agents do agent open houses are very, very curious to know how their house is perceived, uh, how much work goes into it, showcasing to your seller the value that you create with your peers is important. So asking for other agent feedback takes away the onus from you to be able to say something that you've wanted to say without offending them.
Mhm.
Like if there's constant, if they put the dog in the backyard, it has to be cleaned up 3 times a day. It cannot be left there.
Right.
But now you can say it because somebody just brought to my attention that they stepped on something they shouldn't have. Can we
Right.
please make sure but this happens every day and it happens all the time. So this is ways that you can say, I did get feedback from two or three agents that the basement's really dark. Do you think we can add a few lamps? How can we lighten it up? Maybe a fresh coat of paint, something not as dark. These are the things you can do. And this is, as professionals, how we get that success metric. Because if I were to say your basement is dingy, it would be not taken well. I would be the butthole, and more than likely, I could get fired. But if I showcase that me and my entire crew came, half my office was through here. Why? Because your listing is hot. But everybody said that the basement's a little dark. Let's get that fixed before Saturday. Everybody said that this, whatever. But this is why, like, again, you can look at everything in our business as so simple and plain. But if you look into it and you start looking at depth and the difference between how people do this job and the success they get out of it, you understand why everything is so deep.
Sure.
Because anything can change out of any circumstance. So the agent open house, yes, it's a nice, light, fun, 2-hour little thing, but it's so much more depending on where you want to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just to kind of bring this, there's a bunch of scripts obviously that we have that you're going to be providing to everyone.
Simeon,
Yes.
sorry, Hen, there was a question from Catherine about that last point you made.
Yeah.
She's asking, do I use digital sign-in and feedback tools and how? Like, are you capturing engagement from these other agents just verbally, or do you actually trying to truly capture it with a tool?
So most CRMs at this point have a widget
Hmm.
for open house. I'm using Inside Real Estate's Bold Trail. A lot of people are on Follow Up Boss. A lot of people are on Commissions Inc. There's a few of the big major CRMs. All of them have open house plugins. And there's also a million apps. So if you were to go like literally right now to the App Store and you put open house, you'll find a number of them and they all connect to and export the results. The feedback you're looking for, this is to Catherine. The feedback you're looking for, Catherine, is again stuff that's constructive to the seller. And specifically, my attention is 90% on price, obviously. Did I price this right? I would ask my colleague, hi Sabina, thanks for coming by to check out the house. A, do you have a client? And B, did I price this thing right? How would you have priced it? Would you hold offers and have enough presentation, or would you just open it to the market? What are you feeling right now? So that's the type of feedback that you need from an agent open. Yeah, sorry. And then Jake is here. Happy Monday, guys. Quick question. What's the best time and day to hold a broker open to get the most agents? Tuesday or Wednesday, Jake. And that's between 11 and 2 p.m. Try to offer something light for either a lunch item or some baked goods, but make it fun. Make sure that everybody knows they're going to come and get a laugh. Catherine, I hope that answered your question for the digital sign-in and feedback.
Mhm. See if there's any more questions, guys, jump in. Do you want to talk about the script, or what do you want to talk about next?
We can.
Or
I mean,
or follow up, perhaps, like what happens after?
yeah. So once more, it's the same as last week when we really went into the follow-ups of the open house.
Hmm.
Our agent, do you need to chase agents down like you would a client? No. But do you follow up with an agent? Absolutely. Hey man, we met last Tuesday at the house. I just wanted to see if you were able to share the listing with your clients. I would love to see you send that out. Anything I can do to help you, I can actually resend it to you. It's non-branded. Send it to your clients, see if you can put a deal together. Hey, I'm just following up because remember I asked you if I priced it right? I sold it. I sold it for 10 grand more or 10 grand less or whatever the case may be. That kind of follow-up does what? Makes the other person feel important. Maybe they're going to call you with their next up and coming listing. So building relationships and building rapport while your client is looking at you give more than the normal person.
Hmm. Let me ask you something, Simeon. What do you think some of the biggest mistakes agents make in broker open houses?
I don't think there's many mistakes you can make. A mistake would be to not do one.
Right.
That's the mistake that I see. The mistake that I see is people trying to, hold things to their chest, take a crack at selling it like without somebody else. Um, your job first and foremost is to get the more money for your seller, not the more money for you. Your fiduciary duty is to
Mhm.
get the most money you can for your seller. You're going to make your cut of the deal one way or another. So actually caring for what happens is the business. So not doing an open house for agents when you get a listing, it's typically because you either entered the business in COVID and you don't know that that's a thing, or it's not valued in your market. But I would tell you that absolutely it creates a tremendous amount of value for your client because they see how hard you're working and that you engaged the entire agent community. It builds respect and reputation. And more importantly, you're going to get critical feedback on your pricing, how the home is perceived in the market, and just things that are so, so important for you to do your job.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Got another question there for you. Question is how to handle pricing or feedback differences in front of peers. What's professional and polished?
Yeah, so I would say absolutely ask for their opinion.
Hmm.
And that can be done on a one-on-one basis. It can be done as a discussion at the kitchen table when 4 or 5 agents are there.
Yeah.
And the question in the script here is as simple as day. Guys, I'm putting this on the market at 790,000. Where would you put it? If 3 people tell you that you're out to lunch and one person says, go for more, obviously you should reduce the price because you're out to lunch. They're not going to bring you offers. They're going to know that you're either an overpricer or that you're an order taker that couldn't stand up to the seller to make a proper case for the home.
Yeah.
Overpricing a home or just, let's just put it on the market and see what happens. Those are weak agents.
Right.
Why would you invest 3,000, 5,000? Staging is expensive. Your time is worth something. To put a house on the market that will not sell because of price
Hmm.
is a mistake. Taking
Yeah.
it just for the sake of taking it, for the one chance, you have more time than you know what to do with. Maybe you can afford it. Uh,
Well, plus we all know you can only make that first impression once. So if you blow it by being really off price wise, that makes a big impact.
nope. To Alex's point, professional and polished. Guys, I'm going to market at 790. I would love to get your feedback or have a discussion right now as to where you guys would price it and why.
Yeah.
I used all the comps in the neighborhood, the one that sold over there, the one that sold over there. Has anybody sold something that's not on the MLS that I would need to know? Has anybody noticed anything? These are standard conversations. Alex, I hope that answers your question.
That's awesome. Thank you. What else? Anything else you want to talk about? We're almost at the end of our time, but if you want to go into any other scripting or anything like that, that's awesome. Otherwise, I think
No, I
um,
think the resource that's going to go
wrap.
out to everybody has some really good ideas.
Okay.
On sending that email out to invite people with a nice personal video. Like if, like for example, where I'm sitting right now, as you guys all know, I'm in Toronto, Ontario. I'm in the neighborhood of Don Mills, a beautiful, a very well-to-do, taken care of neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
The agents are also very well-to-do and have been here for 40 years plus. There's big-time legacy brokers here. Why? Because
Yeah.
it's an old neighborhood. It's been farmed for decades. So, for example, just to drop a name, Karen Miller. If you don't know who Karen Miller is and you're selling real estate in Don Mills, you have a problem because she literally has 10 to 15% market share out of, I don't know, 8,000 homes. Like we're talking major. A personal video invite to Karen will go a long way. As a matter of fact, maybe you should drop by her office. Why? Because she's a legend that needs to be respected.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we treat others if we want to grow. You don't have to do any of these things, but don't expect to command the respect of your peers if you're not willing to play by the same rules on your side.
Yeah.
Inviting the next legend, the next legend. Why are you inviting legends? They have the buyers. Their database is probably 3,000 times the size of yours. Why wouldn't you invite this person? But I'll tell you why, because some agent will say, well, that's my competitor. Why would I ever want to bring that agent anywhere close to the house? If your insecurity and your inability to understand the business is standing in your way, get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is how agent open houses help you grow.
Yeah. No, I think that's an awesome way to end it. You know, what you said earlier about collaboration being more important than competition or winning every time. That's a great message to leave this on. I don't think that that's taught as much as it should be. You know, it feels like a bit of dog eat dog often for agents. So creating that network of other agents who can sell all your properties, there is no downside as far as I can see.
Yeah, and I will close off with this because our business is it's still dog eat dog. It's still competitive,
Mhm.
but there's ways to be competitive that are better than always shifting, always being that guy or that
Right.
girl. What you want to be is a pro. You want to walk into a listing and never leave the door open for anybody to come in behind you. And you
Hmm.
can do that.
Yeah.
You can do that. But you don't have to be anything other than kind, professional, courteous, and you can still get that done. You don't have to
Awesome.
talk bad about somebody in order to get the business. So
I love that. That's a wonderful way to end today. So everybody, listen, thank you, Simeon. As always,
let's
appreciate
get let,
your
let's get to work, my lady.
wisdom. Everybody have your best week ever, and we will see you next Monday for cold outreach. This is going to be really good stuff. So catch us next Wednesday or Wednesday. I'll be all right. Monday. Sorry.
Next Monday. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.